Hey everyone, so I'm putting out this video in reference to custom and border protection for the officer position. I actually applied for that position back in April of 2018, and I just wanted to put out a video to kind of ease your mind as much as possible. I know that the process by itself can seem so long, but the main thing that I can tell you is to definitely be patient. And no news in this process is good news. Trust me, no news is good news. But I'll just let you know, I start off by telling you a little bit behind how I got started. So I actually applied for the FBI first. I was interested in that, and I went through the process of doing the application. I did my exam for the FBI, and then I went to the FBI building to have my resume reviewed up here in Atlanta, Georgia. And after doing the resume review, which you have to put your resume in a federal resume format, and you can find that online if you're looking to do that as well. But after having that review, submitting my resume again, I was told that I didn't have enough experience for the job. And I have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a master's in secondary education. And I don't know, it could have been at the time, maybe they were looking for someone with a criminal justice background. Maybe they were looking for someone with a background in IT. I don't know. But I was told that I wasn't going to be able to move forward because I didn't have that experience. So with that being stated, I had a friend of mine tell me, hey, well, if you thought about applying for the FBI, then why don't you just go ahead and apply for customs? And I'm like, okay, but I don't know anything about customs. So I went online, I did some research. I went on customs website. I looked into some things. I took some time, and then I said, okay. So with customs, I did see some things that I'm definitely interested in. So I stated, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll apply. So I applied, and I actually applied on April the 13th of 2018. So that same day from me applying, I received an email stating that I was eligible to go ahead and take the assessment. So April the 15th, 2018, I received an email with scheduling instructions for me to schedule for my exam. And also within that email, you will see the study guide. So it's good to use that study guide if you're just at the part where you're getting ready to take that exam. The study guide is going to come in handy for you. On May 5th, 2018, I took my entrance exam. And then on May 22nd, 2018, I received a notice of the results for that actual exam, and that came via email. June 13th of 2018 is when I received my tentative offer. Again, the key word is tentative. That doesn't mean go out and quit your job. You don't know how long this process is going to take. Be patient throughout the entire process. And then the main thing that I'm going to stress to you is you're going to have things that you have to do on your end. Those things that you have to complete, get them done in a timely fashion. Do not procrastinate. Go ahead and get those taken care of, so then that way you don't have to worry about anything on your end. You submitted everything you need to submit. All you're doing is waiting on the process to keep rolling. On June 14th, a day after the tentative offer, I received an email stating that I needed to go ahead and schedule my fitness exam. June 15th, I received an email to complete my equip, and the equip by itself is going to be long. They usually give you about 5 days to complete that. Go ahead and try to start completing that as soon as possible, early on in the days, because if you need to save it and get back to it, then it's best that you give yourself that time to get it done. June 27th, 2018, I completed my medical exam. So I went into a facility and completed the medical exam. That didn't take too long. And then June 29th of 2018 is when I went in to complete my fitness exam. I typically work out. I do kickball, different little activities, kickboxing, cross training, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to say I'm just the fittest, because I'm not, but I do try to stay active at all times. For this particular fitness exam, you don't have to do all of that. You have to do push-ups, sit-ups, and then we also had to do like a 5-minute step test, which you had to do about 120 steps per minute, and you're gonna have a beat, and you just have to step on beat, and that beat is just gonna keep you within that step range, and you're gonna keep stepping for 5 minutes. The hardest part that I would foresee for us females a lot of times would be the push-ups. That muscle memory is what you're gonna have to build. I started my push-ups early on because I know that the process with the FBI is strenuous, and I know that their physical fitness test is harder because theirs was based off of a point system. And to maximize points, you had to do more than the bare minimum to be able to get a certain amount of points. So what I did was back in 2017 when I decided to actually apply for the FBI. At that time, I went ahead and I started practicing on my push-ups, and then I made it to the point that I was able to do the correct form of push-ups, and I was able to do 14. So when I took my fitness exam for customs, I stopped at 14. I was under 1 minute, but I still had more time. But I believe I did 14, and then I just stopped there. Build that muscle memory. In order to do that, I would suggest, and this is, again, it's a suggestion, but if you think about it, you're going to need it, because once we get to the actual training, and we're going to have to pass a physical fitness test there. So for the process as of now that I know of, since I've been going through, we only had the physical fitness 1 exam. They did away with the second one, but then once you make it to training again, you're going to have to do physical fitness exam then, which you're going to have to do push-ups, sit-ups, run a 220-yard dash, and then also do a 1.5-mile run. And all of this is going to be on Customs' website. So I'm not telling you anything that I'm making up or anything, but it's actually on their website. But for you ladies, I would suggest go ahead and build that muscle strength by getting, go ahead and doing those push-ups. Try to do push-ups every day. On July 6th of 2018, I received an email that my equip was rejected. I had some things that I had to complete. It actually had the reason in the email, and I had until July 15, 2018. So with that equip, make sure you're paying attention, and you have to fill out everything to its entirety. On July 19, 2018, I received an email that my SI was scheduled. The SI is your structured interview. Try not to be nervous. I promise you, since I've been going through this process, everyone within the customs, or who's dealing with customs or helping us get through this process or interviewing us, whomever they may be, they are friendly and they are willing to answer questions within a certain realm. Of course, if it's something that they can answer, they'll answer. If it's something you have to wait on or find out, then you just have to wait and find out, but they'll let you know that as well. August 2nd of 2018 is when I actually went in and I did my SI, and I also went ahead and did my fingerprints that same day. For me, what's in that app, for the CAS app, everything actually went in order for me, that exact order. I know for some other people it did not go in that order, and that's okay. Everybody's going to be different. Everybody's process is different, and everybody's time frame is different. But again, I cannot stress enough, patience is a virtue, and no news is going to be good news. On August the 3rd, 2018, a day later after having my SI, August 3rd, I received an email stating that I actually passed my interview process. On August 22nd of 2018, I received an email from the medical department stating that additional information was needed in reference to my medical, and then that I had until September 21st of 2018 to get everything in. They're probably, if you have to do something like that extended time frame is because you may have to go see a doctor, a specialist, or whatever the case may be. So it gives you time to go see that person, get paperwork completed, and get it submitted. On September the 17th, 2018 is when I sent all of my forms back in for my medical review. And then a day later is when I received the information that all my forms and everything were received for my medical. On December the 17th, 2018, I received an email stating that my BI, which is the background investigation, my BI packet was sent to OPR for review. And OPR is the one who's completing your background information, who's doing your investigation, and also I believe they review the polygraph as well. On December the 18th of 2018, I received an email that my medical exam was being reviewed by the nurse, so it was in that stage. And then the government shut down, so there was a freeze. But February 4th, 2019 is when I received an email from Customs updating me that the hiring was restored and everything was going back business as usual. I made it a habit to check my app periodically, because those nice, pretty green checks, just those green checks by itself, you're going to be so excited to see those, because that means that's something else that's checked off, completed, and you're done with that part of the process. So I made it a habit. I went online constantly checking that app. It shows you percentages and how long, where you have progressed to, and what's completed and what's still pending. I checked it, I think the last time, by this time, it probably was sitting maybe for a month at about 63%, and I happened to go on a website. So what I did is I actually emailed my case manager, and you're going to receive information in reference to who your case manager is, so you'll receive that information. So I emailed my case manager, and I'm like, hey, I noticed that my percentage went up 50%. Can you tell me what happened? So my case manager responded and let me know, hey, it looks like as of April the 29th of 2019, your medical was approved. So that was done. So my medical, I went from December the 18th, 2018, when it was in the review stage for the nurse, to April the 29th of 2019 when it was approved. And then again, keep in mind that we did have the government shutdown. As of October the 9th of 2019, I received a phone call to schedule my polygraph. That's another important thing. You may get phone calls from different area codes. Please try to answer your phone. If at all possible, answer those phone calls. I mean, even though customers do a good job at sending emails, those area codes may pop up on your phone, but please answer those phone calls. So October the 30th, 2019, I went in to take my polygraph test. Of course, I was nervous. I've never taken a polygraph ever in my life. But everyone that was already there, as far as the people who worked there and who were administering the polygraph test, they did a really good job with having us feel as comfortable as possible. And then considering that it was like the day before Halloween, we had some chocolate. So I was sitting up in there eating chocolate, trying to calm my nerves. Everything worked out and it was fine. That same day, once I finished, I was told I was done and that I passed. So I'm excited. I'm like super excited. I'm like, yes, I passed, right? And then I'm like, okay. But then the gentleman says, but if we need any more information, then what we're going to do is going to reach back out to you. So if you have to come back in, you may have to take it again, do the polygraph all over. And I'm like, okay, I have to do what I have to do. So if I have to come back in, I have to come back in. But thank God I did not have to go back in. So I was super excited. November the 5th, 2019 is when I received an email to recertify my equip. So I had to go through the equip all over again. But this time, I think it was really the time for them to get ready to start doing the field investigation when they're coming out doing the interviews. On November the 13th, 2019, I received an email that my equip was sent out to OPR for review. December the 2nd, 2019, I received a call from an investigator. The investigator introduced herself. She told me what she would be doing. She told me to go ahead and make my employer aware that they will be receiving a phone call in reference to me. So they will give you that heads up as well. Notify my employer that I did apply for a job with Customs. And it was like over a year ago, so they were aware. And then actually that same day that I got the call from the investigator is the same day that I actually met with the investigator to do my part, to do my interview with the investigator. That took about 2.5 hours. Wasn't bad. Again, everyone is professional. Everyone is nice. No worries. December the 23rd, 2019, I received another phone call with a different investigator, and they had to meet with me again. So that next day, Christmas Eve, December the 24th, yes, on Christmas Eve, I met with an investigator. I had to answer some additional questions, and then we were done. March 25th this year, I went on the app just to check to see if my percentage of completion increased. And it did. I actually made it up to 75%. The last time I checked was early February, and at that time I was sitting at about 63%. I checked, it said I was at 75%. That nice pretty green check was there for my background investigation. My background investigation has been officially completed, and looking at the app, it actually states you have been found suitable for employment with CBP. So I was super excited. I called my husband and I'm telling him, so we were super happy. March 30th, I received a phone call to schedule my drug test. They give you 48 hours to get that done. And I actually went in today, which is April the 1st, 2020, to take my drug test. Even though everything is going on with the coronavirus, I hope everyone's family is safe and healthy as possible. I have been home. The only time I leave the house is to go to the grocery store. But when they called me to tell me to take this drug test, I was out this door and I was so happy to be there. Customs is still moving on even through this unfortunate situation of this virus. They're still moving on. So just, again, be patient. Patient is a virtue. And remember, no news is good news. If you try to think about it, I don't think that they're going to want to waste resources if they don't want you. So no news is good news. Keep that in mind. You'll be fine. If you have any questions or any comments, please drop them down below. I'll be sure to answer them, and just keep pushing, and good luck with your process. And I'll definitely be I'll definitely post another video once I receive my final offer. That's the only phone call that I'm waiting to receive. So that's my last step, and I can't wait, but I'll post again once that's done. I hope y'all have a great day.